1987 Ford Escort RS Turbo. As you can see by just a quick look around this car, someone has spent an absolute fortune on this thing, getting it to be just as shiny, just as fantastic looking as it is on the camera. If you check the description in the listing, we'll detail everything we've got in the way of paperwork, what's been done to it, where it's been, who's looked after it, all that sort of stuff. But in the video, we'll look at interior, exterior, any issues we can find, and we'll get it started up and things like that. But like I say, have a look at the description. If there's anything else you want to know, let us know. Of course, we're open for viewings. We can do video calls. We can send more photos and videos, whatever you need. Let's start on this front driver's corner. As you can see, the bumper lines up with the front wing. Lovely. There's no sort of funny gap or sort of wonkiness to it. It's exactly how it should be. This arch does have obviously part of the body kit on it, but inside there, as you can see, is lovely and clean all the way around. The car did have a light restoration a couple of years ago, 18 months ago, 2 years ago. Check the description, we'll put the exact dates in there for you, including a full paint refresh. I believe both sides were painted, and some work underneath, which we will detail, like I say. But if you look at this front wing, you can tell obviously the paint is absolutely gorgeous. If you look down the side, lovely and straight. It's obviously been well cared for since it's had the work done. It's obviously been sealed as well because it's so smooth, it's unreal. Where the body kit actually meets the front wing is really, really good. There's no sort of funny gap or any odd lines or anything in that. This front right-hand side driver's wheel, obviously you've got the polished RS alloy with the centre cap, which is pretty unusual these days. And it has 4 matching Uniroyal rain sports on it, which again is a sign of very good ownership. Not a cheap tyre. People don't put them on cars that aren't very loved. So always a good sign, like I say. This panel gap, as with all the panel gaps all the way around, which we'll show you, is perfect all the way up. All the way up along the door, on the roof. Exactly what you want to see. As far as marks and things go, I'm going to try and find some, but I think we're going to be pretty hard pressed to find anything to whinge about. If we look at how the body kit sits on the sill, again, really, really good. Both jack and point covers are there. We'll put the camera underneath so we can have a good look there as well. Again, as you can see, it's not been rammed up any curb, it's not been scraped, nothing like that. I mean, you could do with a little wipe under there. So we've given it a quick clean, but even underneath on the floor, you can see all lovely and tidy. Really, really good. Nothing at all to whinge about there. Continuing down this side, the driver's door, all lovely and fresh. There's no marks around any of the locks or anything like that. Where it meets the bottom of the window rubbers can sometimes be an issue, but again, that's really, really good. All the way around this pillar. But nothing coming up this A-pillar at all. Into this gutter, which is lovely and clean all the way along. The roof itself, if we change a few angles, you'll see no dimples, no ripples, nothing at all to whinge about there. It does have the wind deflector on the sunroof, which I personally like, but again, quite simple to remove if you don't. But again, around the sunroof itself, lovely and crisp all the way around, really nice and tidy. As is this side of the windscreen, so around the bottom, all the way up and round. Really, really good. Nothing at all to complain about there. Continuing down this side again, so stamped glass on the back. This rear quarter, just as good as the front. If we look up again from this side, really nice and straight. This arch, all good all the way around. Another good polished wheel with another good Uniroyal tyre. All the plastic's lovely and black. It's not faded or cracked or dried out or anything like that, or even worse, covered in back to black. So you can see exactly what you're looking at. Again, coming up this C-pillar here. It does make for a boring video because I can't particularly find anything to whinge about, but I will try my best in the interest of warts and all videos. Both rear light lenses, lovely and clean, lovely and tidy. Around the badge and everything's good. Someone's got in the trouble of having the original dealer plates made up, which is obviously a nice touch to go with the original dealer sticker, which is in the back. If we have a look around this screen on the rear, all the way around, lovely and tidy. Now, quite often with these, you find the spoilers get marked and cracked from people opening and closing the boot with it, but actually, it's fair to say that isn't the case on this one. On the rear bumper, and again, this sits lovely and level. It's not off to one side or anything like that. Really good stainless power flow exhaust system, which I believe is a full system, but we'll detail in the description. But if you have a look at that boot floor from underneath there, all that rear suspension, really good. Don't think it's ever seen rain, this car, or it certainly hasn't since it's had its refresh. Onto the passenger side, and again we'll look down the side of the car, nice and straight. All the panel gaps are excellent. Not even just excellent for a Ford, just generally excellent for any classic car. This rear quarter, really good. There's not a stone chip, there's not a mark, there's nothing at all to whinge about. Again, we'll have a look at the roof from another angle. Along this gutter. Around the windscreen, even on the bottom there, really good all the way along. I thought we had a stone chip there on the wing mirror, but it was a bit of dust. Around the handle and everything on this passenger side, really good. The body kit on this side, again, it still has its jacking points and everything. We'll have a look at it underneath. See, all nice. There is a small crack just here where the jacking point is, where someone's probably forced the jacking point in, I would imagine. Again, it could do with a good wipe down on the actual body kit itself, but the floor underneath, as you can see, really good all the way along. There's no sort of marks or anything on the leading edge of the doors. Inside the doors are really good. Around the wing indicators and stuff, all fantastic. And then we've got another good wheel and another, I would say they're pretty much brand new Uni Royal Rain Sports. Onto the front. And normally this flat panel, you get a couple of stone chips, but we've got one, if we're going to be really picky, just there, just off the driver's side of the badge. And that's it. Even on the lower half of the bumper and on the valance, there's nothing at all to whinge about. You get another dealer plate on there. It's got the RS driving lamps. Again, all nice and clean under there. There's no sign of any ripples or anything in the bonnet. Yeah, it's fair to say bodywork wise and underneath, excellent condition. Let's go on to the interior. Lovely, clean, tidy driver's side door card. Obviously Recaro's and an RS Turbo. Got a little bit of stretching on the bolster, which actually I've seen a couple of people use a steam cleaner just to get them pulled tight, and they do a really good job. But actually this one's barely anything at all. Nothing at all on the bottom half. These Alcantara seats always look a bit dirty on the camera, but it's just purely the light. If we move it like that, you can see the difference. There's no sign of any sort of cigarette burns. There's no funny smells or anything. Headlining is lovely and clean and tidy. I'll pull that forward and have a look at that. And same story with that. Now, a couple of the upgrades this car's had. It's had a switch for a pair of twin fans. That is your air meter. And then we've had a couple of gauges put in, so oil pressure, turbo boost. And we have a couple of additions to the audio system, which we'll show you in a second. But importantly, original head unit, original audio controls down there, and some tapes to go with them. Showing 23,392, it's about to take over on 2 miles. Again, we'll detail in the description what we know in the way of history, where it's been, all that sort of stuff. Top of the dash. Oh yeah. Even comes with a penny back. RS Turbo with cashback. What more could you want? Have a look in the back. Again, I don't think these get used very often on a car like this, because these are lovely and clean, lovely and tidy all the way around. All the door cards in the rear are nice and clean. Got obviously these little ashtrays, but we've got a little sweet wrapper, but we've got no sign of any smoking or anything like that in there, so that's always good. And like I said, there's no funny smells. It doesn't smell like it's ever been smoked in. No moisture or anything like that. We'll do the passenger side, and then we'll come back to the boot, because there's something in there I want to show you. So again, another lovely tidy door card. Door checks on both sides. It's just as good as the rest of the bodywork all the way around. Really good. Again, this side of the dash, nice and clean, nice and tidy. Passenger seat, Nothing at all to whinge about. Really, really good. Got a little bit of a sort of dry patch in the seat here, which would want a good clean. But other than that, nothing to whinge about. And again, backs of the seats really good. They've not been sort of kicked or abused or anything like that. We'll have a look at the driver's one just to double check. Again, yeah, really good all the way around. Obviously, with it being quite a small car, you'd think it'd end up getting kicked and stuff, but that's nice and tidy. Right, so we will detail in the description, but there is a local audio specialist as well, very well known for really well thought out, really intuitive audio builds, I guess you'd call it. So what they've done is they've built what looks to be a fully OEM boot, totally standard looking. If we lift this panel here, you see a pair of amplifiers and a subwoofer to go with the rest of the audio install, which is around the car. Now, you can connect your phone via Bluetooth, whatever phone you've got, that's fine, into what appears to be the standard head unit, but it does have a Bluetooth module on it. So it looks completely original, completely standard, but with modern day audio. Obviously it will work with the lid down. You don't have to have that up. It is designed for a small space. We will detail in the description. It's these guys, Bass Mechanics, so they're pretty well known up here. If you want a proper audio install, they're the guys to go to. We kind of know they're the go-to people around here. And again, if you check the description, we'll detail everything that's been done as far as audio, but it's a really good compromise between good sound and not drilling a load of holes in the parcel shelf, which was kind of the thing in the 80s and 90s, but you kind of can't get away with it these days. Look under the bonnet, which means you're going to have to excuse some very dodgy camera work. We get this bonnet stay up. And again, it's had quite a lot of love and quite a lot of upgrades under here. And again, if you check the description, we'll detail what we know it's had done. We've got loads and loads of receipts for everything. But it does have some cool badges, such as Turbo Technics. If you have the right age, that'll tickle you just the right way. But if we had a look in here, all the panels and everything lovely and clean. All of the plates are nice and legible, just what you want. In and around the strut tops, the inner wings, everything lovely and clean. No sign of any corrosion there. All good. And again, it's been parked here for sort of 5 or 6 hours, I think. No sign of any fluid or anything dropping out underneath there. So we'll get it started up. We'll show you these gauges and we'll have a look around exhausts and all that sort of stuff. So we do have an extra gauge there as well. Obviously you've got turbo pressure, oil pressure building up nicely. And then this is your airflow meter. And then you've got this switch here for the fan, so it's on or off. Really simple. And then we've got our water temperature. Turbo gauge on is working. Now it is cold, so I'm not going to bounce it off a limiter or anything like that, but if we go around to the back end, you'll see no sign of any water or oil or anything pouring out. We'll give it a little blip. And again, still no sign of any fluids pouring out the back there. It was driven here, it has been used pretty regularly. So there you have it. Ford Escort RS Turbo. Any questions, please get in touch. Like I say, we can do viewings, video calls, answer any more questions you need. If you want extra videos or photos sent in, please let us know. Anything you need. Thank you.